properly, or should we rearrange the seating a bit? Is it okay?
It's weird that I can't see this.
Yeah, maybe you can turn a little bit. Perfect, perfect. All right, then let's move on to the next one. Next joining us on stage is Smith from erasmusplay. Big round of applause for him.
Hello everybody, I'm Smith from erasmusplay. This Thomas already introduced me. Before I start introducing what we do, I would like to start with our why. This starts about 7 years ago when my colleagues and I were supposed to go on Erasmus. Basically, this is how it went. David had to stay in a hotel for 3 weeks until he found a place to stay in Galway. Manuel had to stay in a residence that was 2 hours away from his faculty. And in my case, I had to return my Erasmus because it was quite difficult for me to find accommodation. In Paris is very expensive in this case. This is how we felt, and this is how many international students feel. Given that in total, there are 5.3 million international students, we know that 56% of them have serious difficulties finding accommodation. This is very common in finding accommodation around Europe. However, there have been booking platforms that have emerged trying to verify some of these accommodations and then setting in processes for students to avoid fraud. For you to know, housing fraud have risen up to 30 million euros only in Europe because of these kind of problems. Our solution, our goal, is to aggregate all the verified student accommodation out there into one single platform, the same way that Trivago consolidates hotels across the globe. This way they have the security of verified accommodation, and then all of them, they have it in one place. They don't have to jump from one place to the other. The housing market right now is estimated to be, the international students is estimated to be about 9 million in 2027. This is by UNESCO. This will make the housing market a 20 billion euro market, which leaves players like us with a total addressable market of 2 billion euros. When we generate booking to any of our accommodation providers, these which are mainly housing platforms, student residences, and the uprising colonials, we earn a commission based on that. And that is how we keep the vision alive. We understand that there are other players out there. However, what we focus on is mainly aggregating only verified accommodation and moreover striking partnerships with key stakeholders such as universities, student associations, educational institutes, and so on. Up to date, we are currently partnered with over 60 universities offering 320,000 accommodations, and most importantly right now, we've helped, just in a year and a half that we've been alive, we've helped about 3,000 students find a place to stay. This has generated over 1.3 million to our accommodation providers. We are now seeking an investment of 150,000 to improve on our technology, also to generate brand awareness regarding marketing, and most over, in our operation, get more accommodation providers. Thank you for listening to me, and this is erasmusplay.
Thank you very much, Miss. Is there a question from the audience? Sorry, from the jury.
Thank you so much. I think it's a very relatable problem. Maybe the one big question from my side is, how do you outcompete those partners that you aggregate the supply from to win the eyeball, right, to erasmusplay?
Yeah, definitely. Majorly, one of the key things that we have is that we are creating different accommodation from different sites, right? So each one of them is individual on their own. Some of them are local companies, others might be national, and others might be international, right? So every one of them have a certain set amount of accommodation. In our case, since we are aggregating all of them, our situation is okay. Maybe if you go to this partner, you're going to find only, for example, right, maybe 5,000 accommodations in Paris. But in erasmusplay, since we are working with all these partners that are verified different types of accommodations, what we do is maybe we find 30,000 instead of 5,000. So this is where we outcompete the partners that we have.
And then from my side, how does the verification process look like? Is that purely done by partners, or do you also give opportunity to new fund owners or others to put appointments on their site, for example?
Yeah, so in our case, what we started with is All these partners are the ones that verify these accommodations. So each one of them on their own, the accommodation, the verification process goes like, maybe they go to the place, they take pictures, just like Airbnb, they ask for information from the landlord regarding, okay, what proof we have that the accommodation belongs to you, and most of the time, all of it is done on their side. So what we do is, okay, we go out there, we check, is everything okay? Do they do this due diligence? Are these verified? And when we, through our process, if we understand that everything is okay, then we aggregate them into our website.
Thanks for the pitch. My question relates to the utility of your solution. And you already said it, it's not just about increasing the supply to the offers that you have when you are moving, but also, and maybe that's something you could dive a bit into, what are the key additional features or utilities that you can provide as compared to what, for example, the local universities or so that offer such accommodation? Is there anything on top, maybe not today, but going forward, that you intend to deliver? And connected with that, maybe also your business model. Like, how do you intend to do this in the next year, and then maybe going forward, what is the way you monetize?
Yeah. So majorly from the beginning, what happens is that. Well, let me start with the last question. So our business model is commission based, right? So every booking that is made, we generate a commission, and then the more accommodations that we have, the more partners that we're working with, the bigger it is, right? So thinking something about Trivago, maybe Skyscanner in this case. And regarding the first question that you asked, we started with accommodation because we understood that that is the major, let's say, hurdle that students have, right? When you have to move from one place to another. But we know that there's a very long journey that students go through. So our goal, our why at the end is to accompany students from the beginning to the end. So right now we're starting with accommodation, but later on all the other, let's say, procedures that they have to go through where we can bring in value, we are looking forward into putting more value there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Smith. Big round of applause for you.